Hey, you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Ali. Where's Ali? Your favorite eccentric SLO-mad. Haven't done a live in a few weeks. Been running around crazy trying to figure out next steps. But y'all, I am here in Cape Town abode where I stayed for 3 weeks. Took a quick trip to Johannesburg last week, and now I'm actually staying in a place closer to CBD, the center of downtown area. But I kind of wanted to just do a quick, I'm only going to do the downstairs, or well, a little part of the upstairs, but not all the living spaces, just so you can get an idea. This video is going to really kind of show you what is available to you here in Cape Town and why Cape Town is so beautiful. So you guys, if y'all are new to my channel, click the subscribe button if you are interested in seeing things like this. Tons of places that I've stayed that I actually don't do this, and I probably should. If this is helpful, let me know, and then I will do more of these kind of live walkthroughs. Every place I stay is not going to be as beautiful as this, but when it is, I might as well show you. I feel like with everything that's going on, if you guys have looked at my latest videos, you know that Cape Town has been newly added to my places of a list of places that we should really consider moving to. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling. So this is a place that you'll see a little fuzz up there. I don't know. That it was found on Airbnb. It's a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Yeah, there's a little haze. Hold on, you guys. I see the haze on the screen. What happens once you go live? But yeah, let me just give you a quick walkthrough of the house. And especially because we're leaving. So this is the foyer. Beautiful street. Suburban style neighborhood that we're in, but we are minutes from the beach. So this is the foyer area. And of course, it's wonderful windows. This place is full of windows, which if that's your thing, you're gonna love it. So look at this view that we get. There's a little lotus flower that pops up every now and again in the pond as well. Little seating area. I don't know who this is, but he scares me at night, just FYI. All right, there's a bedroom here. I won't go all the way in because people have their things in there, but it's a full bedroom with an en-suite bath. I have other videos of the house clean without everybody's packing and all that kind of stuff, so I don't want to intrude, but I will post another video so you can actually see the bedrooms. I'll show you my bedroom, but I won't show the master, okay? Here is the half bath. This is the community bathroom, so this kind of gives you an idea of the quality that you're gonna get. Hey, you guys. Yo, if you have never sat on one of these things, hold on. This is life. This is like literally the best seat in the house. Honestly, pull this in front of the television, watch TV, sleep. You're not gonna get much work done here. I'm gonna promise you that. I promise you, you won't get much work. So please don't sit on one of these if you got things to do. All right? Okay. Now let me take y'all to the rest of the house. So this is the dining area. Look how big that is. It is a loft style house. So built really nicely. Then we walk right into the kitchen. There's like the bar kind of barista area. The full kitchen there. We've got kind of, excuse the mess. There's a chef that comes in the morning a few times a week, and so that's food from this morning, just to get an idea of how the chef be chefing. And then those are snacks, treats, goodies. But let's go through the kitchen. So you can see, as you see, there's bar stairs, stools that you can sit at. But this is it's a full kitchen, full kitchen, fully stocked as well, fully usable. Lots of closet cabinet space, a full washer and dryer. I got clothes in there as well. Yes, we utilize dishwasher. And this house, I'm telling you, there's just glass and windows everywhere. There's doors that you can open and go to different areas of the house. Got some privacy trees. There's a little walkway path right there. Oh, wind, it feels so good. But I'm going to tell y'all something. You know, those of us from the Chi be like Windy City. I think Cape Town got us beat on Windy City, y'all. It's crazy. Okay, let me flip it because y'all don't want to see my face. Y'all want to see this cool space. This is a more like community space because this is where the television is and the entertainment center and all that. You see there's another glass door that leads out. But look at how this looks from this side. We got upstairs. We're going to go up and then we'll come back down. So we have two ways to go up. So we'll go up this way and come down the back way. All right? Hello. Y'all know I love a good chalkboard. You know I love a good chalkboard. But look at the structure. The way that they built this is really, really nice. So there's the master bedroom here that has an ensuite with a tub, kind of like a garden bathroom. But I'll show pictures and video of that from a different stage point. Again, so not to intrude on the person's space, but this was my area. So we all had kind of like our own seating areas. This was the library. And so this is where I would sit and do my work. And as you see, it overlooks the loft area. So, boom, shakalaka, shakalaka, boom. I am in Cape Town, South Africa. Grab it. So we got these little walkways. So I'm going to show you one bedroom. This was my bedroom. It's so clean. Okay. Look at that. Boom. Closets. And then this open area back here, you don't think it's anything, but it is. And then, let's see, you get through there. And then you can see outside from there. I can open the windows. Got a little perch there. And I'll show you one of the bathrooms. This was my bathroom. I did not have an en-suite, but it is actually the second largest bathroom in the house. So full walk-in shower. Vanity is amazing. Windows for ventilation. Nice, clean, open space. And this awesome shaded door. Now I'm going to show you guys the secrets. So there's ways to get up to the rooftop and ways to walk down outside as well. Boom and boom. So this is the secret passageway. I'm only showing y'all this because we're leaving. Can't tell y'all all the business. I'm gonna flip it over to me as I walk through. No, this one's okay. So here's a bedroom. This is the third one that we kind of came by. There's that door, little hidden door there. And then another bathroom. Similar to mine. Okay. There's a garage. We're not gonna go in the garage, y'all not interested. But it's 2-car garage. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. And they have like all these really cool baskets and stuff with blankets and seating. This is heaven. This is something in Cape Town that is a thing. Because of the wind, well, first everyone likes to braai. It's B-R-A-A-I, so I'm probably saying it wrong, which is barbecue. And we also have a wood fire stove, a pizza oven. You don't know what I'm trying to say. With all the utensils, everything that you need to use, everything is built up. But most of the houses that have grilling, it's going to be inside, which is really interesting. And it's because it's so windy. So you'll see things like this, the way that it's built. There's another exit. Those stairs go up to the master suite. So the person upstairs can literally like sneak down if they want to, go through that side passageway, boom, boom. And they're out. But look at the seating area, you guys. Look at how open the space is. You can come out here, have your dinner parties, wine gatherings, social events. This is a wine closet kind of thing, used multi-purpose. But look at this, how it's set up with these beautiful balances or whatever we want to call them. But bam, this is what we love. We get to walk out and see this. We do have some animals out here, i.e. spiders, but we leave them be. They do their own thing. I will show y'all. Ooh, uh-oh, one of them is gone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means as I look up. But there's the bathroom for the master, the window for the master bathroom, and the window for the master bedroom there. But there was a big, nice big something or other right in here. He's gone. But here's another one. They're in these trees, so you want to be careful. But I'm going to show you this one, because I know he's trying to mind his own business, but let's see if I can find him. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, there he is. It's right there. See that black? There's some big, there's a name for them. They're supposed to be harmless, but I don't care. It's a spider. But we have like a whole botanical garden situation out here. Oops, zoom out. And it's really beautiful. It's such a nice space to be in as well. Done yoga out here, you guys. It's a beautiful space. So now let's talk, now that you've seen the goodies, let's talk a little bit about being in Cape Town. First of all, has anybody thought about moving here, coming here, visiting, and you don't know if you should, what it's like, given, little to no real information about Africa as a whole, and kind of only seeing it from let me do my laundry. Wow, I'm chatting with y'all. Also only seeing it from the standpoint of, tourism, where people stay in some of the major hotels in the city. Because most people stay more inland, closer to the downtown area. So oftentimes you don't get to see like the suburbs. And I can walk out on the street too. But I've got video I'm going to show you guys. We're really close to the beach. That is north of the waterfront area, which is where everybody goes. But it's I am surprised, amazed, and very happy that I came to visit. I've been here over a month. Have I been here over a month, or it's just coming up to a month? I don't know what today is. Let me see. My phone isn't working. I don't know what today is. 25th. So technically it'll be a month tomorrow that I have been here in the country. And like I mentioned before, most of my time was spent, I gotta get something to drink, it's hot. Most of my time was spent here in Cape Town, and I did a little short stint over to Johannesburg last week. Everything's been cleaned out. All we have is wine. But I would like some water. So, I can tell you a little bit about Joburg, what my impression is of Joburg as compared to Cape Town. And y'all, it is night and day. So when people say that, they're talking about demographics. They're talking about ethnicity demographics as well, typically, because it's night and day. It is night and day. I feel like the energy is different. There's a little bit more humility, respect on the Joburg side. To be honest, the issue for me on the Joburg side is it's just too much of it feels like an enclosed city. It is inland. It's landlocked. So, of course, you don't have the water area like we have over here. But it's just, Cape Town is just, the infrastructure is, developments are different. There are smaller communities and neighborhoods and suburbs in Joburg as well, because I stayed in one of them, and then I also stayed like in a developed hip area where everybody goes, everybody, walks around and all of that. But I would say if I was going to suggest a place, and everybody is different, but if I were going to suggest a place, I would probably suggest Cape Town. So it depends on what you're looking for, and also jobs, people looking, with companies and different things like that. But if you're wanting an all-around city that gives you everything from nature, activity, walkability, safety, waterfront, beach, upscale, middle scale, low scale, any scale, English speaking, credit card taking, it's in Joburg too, as well. But just it's a different energy, some of it good, and then of course some of it, you have to deal with the nuances of being in a place that just went through apartheid. And apartheid, for those who don't know what that means, is their own cycle, 400 years of slavery, but from a different perspective. So it didn't really hit until the late 1800s when they really named it something, and started doing all the land grabbing, and not necessarily started, but it started making laws around the ownership of land grabs and things like that, to the point where we are today, where there's 7 to 10% of minority people own 70 to 90% of the developed or more rich land of value. And so, sorry y'all, I kicked out. But closest thing to that I've seen from all the places I've been, I've only been to 7 countries in Africa, but now I've been to the south, the east, the north, and the west, and a couple places in each one. This is the only place I've been in the south so far, but so I'm hoping to pop into a couple of other places. But yeah, this is probably the closest to the actual racism and what okay, I'm gonna say this is the closest to what the experience is in the U.S. I'm trying to kind of sugarcoat it, and I really don't need to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. There's a beautiful and very detailed apartheid museum called Apartheid Museum in Johannesburg. Of all the things to see, if you go for one day, go and do that and spend the day. Allocate 5 hours if you want to really know the history. If you just want to mark it off your list and do a tour where they walk you around or do the 90 minutes or whatever, you're not going to see everything. You're going to see glimpses of bits and pieces. But if you're really intrigued and want to truly understand and have some time to kind of reflect and dig into yourself, um, allocate at least 5 hours so that you can slowly immerse yourself into what it's showing you. Right out the gate, they give you a ticket that says white or non-white. And that is tells you what side of the museum you are allowed to go into. And the reason being is, and then they show you the differences in what they looked at and how Caucasian people from different parts of the world who are not indigenous to Africa at all, how they were given privileged treatment. And it was literally like being in the 50s, 60s, 70s of the US with the white only, black only thing. It literally is a duplicate, a replica of what we went through in the US. And you have very overt and outspoken Caucasian people. I'm not going to call them Caucasian people because they come from all different places who are still angry, who are angry because they feel like something was taken from them with no regard or thought to the fact that the land was not theirs to begin with. So it really resembles what we're experiencing in the US right now with people who are in the US who are from here and Germany and Canada. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Who are going over to the US and saying they wanted to be blatantly, I'm not making this up, I'm not creating a race situation because we didn't create race. Caucasian people did. But going over and saying that they want America to be white again. But it wasn't. It wasn't. So it's the same kind of land grab. It's the same kind of land grab situation. And here they're trying to figure out a way to balance it. So yesterday I got to participate in a volunteer program event, just volunteer work in the community, one of the well-known communities, Nanga, here in Cape Town, which is located right next to the airport. And we work with some people in the community. The organization that we volunteered with is called Just a Little Helps. Please go look them up on Instagram. I believe on Facebook as well. They're also supported by another group here in Cape Town. You can look all of that information up. But the person who created that organization is actually from the US and just trying to do their part anywhere they can, but specifically here in South Africa, Cape Town area, and just trying to figure out ways to assist the disenfranchised community, Black African community here that is overlooked and marginalized and ignored and, so on and so forth. And so we've got an opportunity to spend 3+ hours in that community, meeting some of the locals and speaking to different people and just walking through the neighborhoods and seeing how their walk of life and how they're living, and then coming back over to this place or even where I am now close to CBD in the gardens and District 6 area and seeing the vast difference. It makes you want to do something. But that's what I did yesterday, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to have been able to go and see some of the reality. And I'm going to tell you, this is not a South African only, Cape Town only thing. This is all over Africa. You're going to see these disparities where you have huge white communities wherever they're from. And I'm not saying I have a problem with it because a lot of people are nice. South Africa is the first place I've really been to in Africa where the Caucasian community actually is abrasive. Um, as if they don't realize it's the weirdest place. It's the weirdest thing that I've experienced here. But it reminds me so much of the U.S. where this is ours, and this whole mental block of, but it wasn't yours. It wasn't yours. Even if you fought and took it, it still wasn't yours. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that part of it is gone. It's like, you know, we were born here, so we should stay. Whereas in the US, it's like, well, even if you were born here, get out because we want to turn it into something. And so that's the reality. So I know I can beautify this and all of this, but the reality is it's not the same. Like, I still would not go back and live in the States, but I'm going to tell you something. I would come here and live in Cape Town. I would. I would. And it's because the land is ours, technically. Even though we don't own it yet, the land is ours. And I believe there are enough groups and enough communities here who understand community as a whole, regardless of your origin, that we need to right wrongs everywhere, right? It can't just be where the wealthy people are dictating where things should be. There should be not even balance. It's this grab, take, and don't care about anybody else. And I feel like Cape Town is one of those places where I think more people, that silent or loud minority, can learn to get behind the louder, hopefully, majority who is simply saying balance. We've been living in conjunction for the longest. Let's figure out a way to do it together. And then for those who are just completely against communing with the originators of this land, there's a pathway to the U.S. Y'all are welcome to go to that. As many people say, go back to where you came from. The Europeans who are here, even though they may call themselves South Africaners or whatever the case may be, they do know their origin. They do know where they come from. And that is one of the things that was stripped from any of us diasporans who are living around the world, but specifically in the U.S. I think for the most part, or just anywhere in the Americas, it's a little bit harder to know what our country of origin was here in the continent of Africa, because of the way that we were stripped from the continent. Our ancestors were stripped from the continent. Whereas when you go east, if you go to Europe, UK and stuff, a lot of those diasporans know their heritage, like Idris Elba, and I'll just name people who are famous. Like, they know their heritage, they know where they come from. Similar to Caucasian Europeans, even though they may call themselves South Africaners, they know their heritage. They know they're German. They know they're Canadian. They know that they're Swiss. They know that they're Australian. They, those kinds of things. And so that's still, knowledge is power. Knowing that, you can relate to something, because no one took it from you. No one took your name. No one took your language. And they actually created a language, and even, try to, in some areas, like we were looking at some houses, and the guy kind of just straight up told us, there's an area, he goes, it's mostly Afrikaner speaking African language. Yeah, African, which is like the Dutch and other languages mixed together, because initially the Dutch were against the British. Everybody was against the British, but when they realized that they couldn't win this fight by themselves, they joined together and then were against all of the indigenous Black Africans who were here, which is how they gained so much power and took so much land. And if you guys have not figured out yet what is power, first watch the series Yellowstone, and Black person in there, but watch Yellowstone. Well, at the end is one attorney, but it's not about that. I want you to see how they even tell us how people come in, immigrants refugees come in and take land, and take it without cause, without hesitation. Um, but you'll kind of get an understanding of that, and then also why there's such a fight, for people who just don't understand that there's a play nice area in there, and in fear of original people learning not to play nice anymore, that's where you have all of these laws that were created. And I'm telling you, I feel like it's the things that happen here are so closely related to what happened in the United States that it's almost eerie, because colonialism in other parts of Africa is so different from racism and slavery, enslavement, Jim Crow, and things like that that happen in the States. It's not as overt. It's more of a, you know what? I ain't even gonna go there because we'll have these in my back office kind of conversations, my behind the scenes conversations. But there is a major difference in, the mentality of being colonized for 400 years and the impact that that had versus, the enslavement and the chattel slavery kind of, way of breaking breaking people, and then the difference in it being done on, new land versus on your own homeland. So, understanding walking around in this space, in my privilege, a number of ways as an American, as what they would probably consider colored. Maybe I'm maybe a little bit too dark, and my hair texture does not allow me to be colored. I may be considered just black here, learning the colorisms and things like that, and how it truly is something different. Asians are colored here. Light-skinned Mexican mixed people are colored. Like Tyla is colored. She's not black, but in our eyes, she's black because it's, you know what I'm saying? And so understanding but putting yourself in a place where you can kind of sit back and respect what other people have gone through, what they're experiencing, and then what they feel when we are in these spaces. But as this is also the one country I've come to where it has been the most welcoming. The indigenous black Africans here have been the most welcoming and most open and outspoken about the disdain for what has happened, without feeling, so much fear of speaking about it, and ready to, do what is necessary to be done, but not necessarily in a heinous way. Like everybody has been living together. It's more of, okay, let's stop fighting the inevitable, and, create spaces that are open and equalities that are for everyone. You can't have huge disparities in a place. I will tell you this: when you come here, specifically in Cape Town, you're going to be confused as to whether or not you're in the southernmost black African, sub-Saharan country because it's so white. I can't even mince words. It's white. So it's white. Cape Town is, but when you go to Johannesburg, it's like the people who live in the houses. I mean, there's mixtures in Caucasian and Indian and, different ethnic groups and things like that, in Johannesburg, but you see more of a balance with the ownership and, people running stores and things like that, and, so that from that perspective, Johannesburg feels better. From that perspective, if you're looking and going, I want to come to a place where this is us, and we aren't just in servitude. And for me, my light-skinned militant, that's what I was looking for. So when I got here the first time and got to the airport, I was like, what the? There were literally 3 people of my hue or darker in the long hour. It took me an hour to get through customs. So I had time to look. I had time, y'all. And I was like, but you appreciate spending time. That's why it's really nice if you can come here and not just do the tourism things. If you've got time to sit and embrace and walk around, there's space. We can come and buy houses, y'all. There's properties and things like that. I can give you advice on what time to buy, but I can't give you. We've got a real estate agents that we're working with. It's a beautiful place, and we should not consider it simply because of the demographics, because anything can shift and anything can be melded and brought together if people want to meld and be brought together, but you don't have to be in places of hostility. um, you know what I'm saying? So you guys, I don't know, someone typed a message and it's blocked. If you are saying anything that is derogatory or like negative, or you got some crazy stuff, pops up on my lives every now and again, it immediately gets blocked, and you most likely will be blocked from my channel. So just letting you know. But this has just been my experience here, and I feel like in the all of the people, the locals that I've spoken to, and I'm telling you, just out of the few countries I've visited, I've been to countries where I never spoke to one local because they knew I was a foreigner, and because I was not um, uh, because whatever, I was a foreigner, I was not considered, well, I was tourist, but I was black tourist. So there was difference. And I had people who live in these places, who come from these countries here in Africa, explain it to me. Explain some of the treatment. I've been in Kenya, and I've seen it where I was treated better than a local, and then a Caucasian immigrant was treated better than me, like literally within a 5 minute span. And so you see some of these trickle effects. So I don't want to give the impression that, oh my God, it's amazing. Then y'all come here and go, Ali, it's like, ain't no black people. And they're here. But I think there's an opportunity for us to learn what the impact is and was, and still is to this day, 2025. So United States is about to go through, or they're trying to push us into an apartheid kind of state of being, and South Africa is trying to move away from it. From the last 30 years, it's only literally been like 30 years, since 1994. And just because a law is passed does not mean that mindsets or mentality has changed. Behavior has not changed. In the United States, we technically have the enslavement ended, quote unquote, by law in 1863. In 1865, Texas wasn't down, and Texas wasn't even the last state to finally let their enslaved people go. Y'all go look up the history. So you may think that we've been out of it for the longest, but the mentality, the red line, all the things that were put in place to take the place of. So now you don't have free labor. So what do? They start creating prisons, right? So there's so much to this, you guys. And I just ended up getting into that because the reality is I can't sugarcoat what it is here. But if you are an open person, most of the Caucasian people that I meet here, I haven't had a problem except the first week. But living in some of these areas, you find that you're around people that are afraid of what they call colored people or black people being in their space. And it's evident, it's loud, it's brass, it's abrasive. You see it, and there is no real mingling, and I mean, it's tough. It can be tough, but I will tell you, after that third day, it's been smooth sailing on all fronts, whether it's Caucasian, whether it's the locals and things like that. So I feel like the negative people are so small, and you can make them so much smaller when you can literally like glaze over them, right? They are so small compared to all the other people who are here, whether wherever they come from. So if you guys want to know more about like just the everyday walk in life, as I've been here, Please ask. And I've been over a lot of places, and I've a lot of the groups and things, the people that um, I associate with, we're literally in groups, mixed groups, and everybody is good. So it's just it's a small group, a small group of people who have a poor attitude. Okay. So anyway, so this was like kind of the little house walkthrough. What I've been what's been happening. I'm going to stay in Cape Town for a little bit longer. I'm going to stay in Cape Town a little bit longer to explore a little bit more here. And and I want to tell you guys, Table Mountain. I've hiked 3 different areas in Table Mountain. My brother and I tried Indian Vinster, the most difficult, extremely difficult, you could die trail, because we missed that whole sign. There's a whole sign I took a picture by that said you could die, literally. It didn't say that, but it basically should have. And I made it about halfway, and I couldn't go any further, and I had to come down, which is also death defying, because it's like literally just straight and rocks and quarries and pulling yourself down and hanging off of rocks to get to the next level. And I'm trying to go down. My brother went all the way to the top. He said it was the scariest thing he's ever done. And then once we actually read it, we realized that actually that was for professionals. But there were other people going up that route as well. It's really, and I can share more. So if you're going to come here and you're going to do hikes, because there is a point where you cannot turn back. You have no choice except to continue to try to go forward. And from the point that my brother and I departed, he had another hour and a half of climbing, literally climbing with nothing but his hands, no proper equipment or anything. And I had an hour and 40 minutes of trying to get back down to the base of that mountain. There's ways to get there if you go around. Yeah, we didn't do that. We don't do that. Don't do it, you guys, unless you are like professional. I saw some people going up with selfie sticks and tripods. There's no way you can do it with anything in your hand. There is no way you can do it with anything in your hand, period. Okay, so you want to know more? I'm going to be posting some of that, some video footage from that. Thank God that both myself and my brother made it. And they do have the cable car. So if you make it to the top, you can take the cable car down. But there are not hundreds, but tons, dozens and dozens of trails that you can hike around the perimeter within the foresty areas. So you've got a little elevation, maybe not that much, but most of it's, what you're used to when you're thinking of hiking. This is where we were. What we were doing is not hiking. It's mountain climbing. It was totally mountain climbing. And I was terrified going down because one little turn, wrong step, and it was the end. Even to the point, you guys, I was on the mountain going down, and I heard this like boom, 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 and I turn around and I see this yellow thing just hitting them, and I thought it was a person's body, but nobody was screaming, and it was so loud, so I realized it was a boulder. One of the rocks had fallen. I don't know if somebody kicked it or not, but it didn't. It stopped before it got to me. It's real. So I'm gonna put my warning shot out there. I'll probably do a separate video and talk about this, because they tell you that it's extremely dangerous, but people shouldn't even be able to. And there's no way for you to get help. Like there's no rangers. I think the further my brother went, or once he got to the top, he talked to some people who worked there, and they were like, oh yeah, maybe we should do better signs and stuff like that. Yeah, you think? But I made it back down. So it still was like a 4-hour, so almost like 3.5 hour hike for me, up and back down. And I still didn't make it to the top, but I am determined to be on a quest of conditioning and to see if I can go the long way and make my way up. So we'll see. I'm trying to beat taking the cable car. I'm gonna see if I can get up to the top without taking the cable car. But I'm gonna tell y'all, it was terrifying. It's easier to go up than down, but physically I am completely without shame of saying it. I'm in shame because I couldn't complete something, but completely out of out of shape in terms of endurance. You need some endurance. You need some energy. Whoo, y'all. So anyway, that's what I did this week. I was able to leave some of my brother's ashes at one of the peak areas. I will take him with me again, and if I make it to the top, then I will leave some of his ashes there. If you guys don't know, I think I've posted in some other videos that, can't tell if I hear people, that I do carry my brother with me. He travels with me. He passed a few years ago, and so we find these amazing places to leave his essence and spirit so that he can visit as well. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, y'all. Hopefully you guys receive it well from this video, and if there's any questions about the location that we're in or anything like that, you want to know some things about being here and being here long term, please don't hesitate to ask at all, and I will share that with you. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here because it's like 45 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed the little tour, and I will see you guys next time. Y'all know the drill. Toodles and noodles. Peace and hair grease.